Have you ever wished you had a small, dedicated team to handle your daily digital tasks? A project manager to plan things out, a developer to actually build the solution, and a QA engineer to double check everything? Well, guess what? Today, we're going to build one, an automated AI team that can work for you 24/7. Let's dive in and see how it's done. So, here's the game plan for this explainer. First, we'll meet the members of our new digital team. Then, we'll see exactly how they work together. We'll look at the surprisingly simple tools you'll need, peek at the actual code that brings them to life, and finally, we'll put them to work on their very first assignments. Now, the key to really understanding this is that we're not just creating some abstract AI functions. We're actually building a team with distinct roles, responsibilities, and even personalities. Thinking about it this way helps us see how they collaborate, just like a real-life software team. So let's meet the crew. We have Sarah, the project manager. She's our planner. Then there's Mike, the developer, who's our builder. And finally, we have Alex, the QA engineer, our meticulous reviewer. Each one has a very specific job that contributes to the final result. Let's get to know them a little better. Okay, first up is Sarah. Think of her as the brain of the whole operation. When you give the team a task, Sarah's the one who steps in first. She's super organized, all about deadlines, and her entire goal is to take your big, complex idea and break it down into a clear, actionable plan that the rest of the team can actually follow. Next, we have Mike. Mike is the one who takes that clear step-by-step plan from Sarah and makes it a reality. He's the creative coder, focused entirely on getting things to work. His job? To write clean, efficient code that directly solves the problem. He's the one who does all the heavy lifting. And rounding out the team, there's Alex. Alex is our critical eye, our professional skeptic. After Mike builds something, Alex's entire job is to try and break it. He's incredibly detail-oriented, hunting for bugs, errors, and any weird edge cases where the code might fail. He's the one who makes sure that what you get is polished and reliable. So we've met the team. But how do they actually work together? Well, their collaboration follows a really simple but powerful loop that takes your request and turns it into a finished product. It all starts with your input. Let's say you ask it to organize my downloads folder. First, that task goes straight to Sarah for planning. She breaks it down into logical steps. Then it's passed to Mike for execution. He writes the actual script. After that, it goes to Alex for a thorough review. Now, if Alex finds a problem, it goes right back to Mike for a fix. But if it's perfect, it moves to the final stage, the output, which is the finished code delivered right back to you. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds incredibly complex to build, right? But here's what's so interesting. The tools are surprisingly beginner-friendly. You absolutely do not need to be a machine learning expert to get this up and running. We'll be using Python, which is a super popular and pretty readable language. But the secret sauce, the thing that really makes this whole thing possible, is a framework called CrewAI. It's specifically designed to make these AI agents talk to each other. And for their brains, you can plug into a powerful model like OpenAI's GPT-4o, or you can even run a free local model on your own computer using something called a Llama. All right, let's pop the hood and take a look at the Python script that brings this all together. And don't worry if you're not a coder. We'll break down the core logic into 3 simple steps that define our team and put them to work. But how do we translate these ideas of Sarah, Mike, and Alex into actual working code? Well, it's a lot simpler than you might think. The entire script really just boils down to 3 main parts. First, we define our agents. We tell the computer who they are. Second, we define their tasks. We give them their to-do list. And third, we just kick off the simulation and let them get to work. It's that straightforward. First things first, we create each agent. We give them a role, a goal, and, this is the most important part, a backstory. This backstory is the key. It's basically a detailed prompt that gives the AI its unique personality and instructions, shaping exactly how it's going to perform its job. Next up, we create their to-do list. Right here, we define each specific task, and critically, we assign it to an agent. This essentially builds that chain of command we talked about, making sure the project flows logically from planning to development and then to review. And this is the final step, the magic button, really. After defining the agents and their tasks, all it takes is one simple command, projectcrew.kickoff. That's it. That single line brings your entire AI team to life and sets them in motion to complete the project. Okay, we've built the team, we understand the code, so what can we actually do with it? Let's talk about some practical everyday applications for your new automated crew. This is where it gets really powerful. Imagine just feeding your team a news article URL. Sarah would identify the key topics, Mike would format them into a neat summary, and Alex would check it for clarity. Or how about this? You give it a rough one-sentence idea for an email. Sarah would outline the tone and key points, Mike would draft the full email, and Alex would make sure it's polite and professional. The possibilities are pretty much endless. So now you have the blueprint. A project manager, a developer, and a QA engineer, all digital, all automated, and all waiting for your command. The only question left is, what's the first problem you're going to have them solve?